Alright, welcome back to another video, and today is not a computer repair. This is a power supply repair. This is something I made 20 years ago with my senior advisor, senior engineer. He was definitely handy to have around. He still is. But this is all just a power supply. This is a welder transformer that we rewound with flat bar copper to supply 14.4 volts. I forget how big this capacitor is. I think it's in like 2 farads or something. 2 or 4 farads. We'll find out in a minute. And this is 2 heat sinks separated with an insulator that contains 16 car alternator diodes that makes up my bridge rectifier. Very simple. And it's been running the lights in the museum for a long time. And this terminal's been getting hot for some reason. So I decided to remove it from service. And then realized that in my infinite wisdom we never put a fuse in it. So today we're going to put a 50 amp Anderson plug on the front, which is slightly smaller diameter wire, but probably more quality. This is like cheap Chinese jump starter lead, so there's probably about the same amount of copper in there. And in the case, we used to run halogen lighting rails off this, about 100 amps worth, and it keeps up with that continuously. There is even fan cooling on the bridge rectifier and a bit of fan cooling out of here. We do have a small 5 volt regulator here which runs off these piddly little wires. I might even remove that. There is a 12 volt cigarette lighter socket and an XLR plug on the back that my brother used to use all the time. But yeah, this has been a project that's I've had for a very long time. Anyway, let's get into it. But what I do want to do is these are the wires I need to pull off. So I'm going to remove all the wing nuts on the front here, and actually you can probably tell one of those has been a little bit warm, and that was what gave me concern. When I come to investigate this, it was quite hot. So it's been removed from service until I can come up with a safer outcome. Alright, now I've just reached down in here, and actually this nut is loose on the back of this terminal, so that might potentially explain why it was getting hot, because the terminal was loose, and loose terminals create resistance, and resistance creates heat, of course. Alright, we managed to get the brass nuts off. Alright, yes, I was certainly right to be worried about how hot this has been getting. So yeah, we're going to definitely fix this. Alright, it's out. Yeah, we're going to have to do a bit of work to get that bolt out. So that's interesting. I still don't know if I'll remove the 5 volt supply or not. I'm thinking it will certainly simplify things. I might chop it off, leave it in there, and I'll wire it up again in the future if I need to. In the meantime, we have all these brass nuts and bolts and insulators. They may still be handy. Okay, we have the wiring loom detached. These are some of the front panel ones. So we have a resistor to the front LED, to the hard drive LED. That indicates when the power's on. So we'll leave them tucked out of the way. So that's what those 2 wires are for. These 2 wires are from our 5 volt regulator. These 4 are silicon cable that is redundant for future use, I guess. They probably don't need to be there, but they are on the AC side. Well, I guess they're going to come out off the capacitor anyway. They may get removed for simplicity, I think. Because yeah, I really want to tap everything off this capacitor. So we're going to chop our 2 existing wires. We're going to leave this guy disconnected. We might leave these redundant so I can hook up another regulator later if we need to, just because chopping out of here is going to be difficult. And then we're going to pull some connectors off this. Okay, we have things mostly disassembled. We've got the regulator removed or disconnected. Now we can separate this blanking plate in here I had. What I'd like to do is thread the wires out the front. Initially I thought, is it big enough to fit these through? It's not. Saving actually having to re-drill it, although I'm going to have to re-drill that regardless. I thought maybe if I de-pin these, I can poke the pins through that hole. If that's the case, I'll probably get away with leaving the original front panel in. So I'm going to use a screwdriver here, and we're going to de-pin the front. I can push that little tab down just right. I can pull the pin straight out. Can't tell I've done that a few times, can you? Alright, let's see if they will fit through. That's good. Okay, so I can throw them through here and re-pin them. So I'm going to find my step drill and clean that up. Okay, have it back together. We're threaded through. Got the black wire through the negative hole. Not that it really makes a lot of difference these days. Put that into the negative slot. And hook facing the clip. That is indeed a negative slot. Let's go and go click, and we're in. And we do the same with the positive one, just because it's not negative. Through the positive hole, and yep, go in and go click. There we go. Okay, so that now threads out through the front, which is good. Thread everything backwards, back through here. Everything's that way. Now this front panel was originally glued in. I'm probably going to have to repeat that process. Alright, something else of moderate concern I found. These guys are loose too, so that was about due to check all this stuff out. Okay, we've got a ratchet on this, and this is 1132 or something like that. It's trust my senior engineer to find some imperial stuff in his collection that nobody else uses. Sorry Americans, I know you're like 45% of my audience. Alright, this fits on here like it was made for it. If autofocus can have its day today, that fits there nicely. We're going to hit this with some contact cleaner as well as we put this back together. I'm doing just the negatives first so I don't get things mixed up. Now, just a little pro tip with these little terminals. Well, that one is loose. I'm going to redo that. That is not fitting correct. In any case, don't over tighten these. They are an aluminium thread, and if you over tighten them, you'll strip it out and basically throw that whole capacitor away at that point. Alright, that looks a little bit firmer. That's on nicely. They're all on tight. That's good. And now we need to pull this one off. Now, I know this looks big and scary, but all of everything from here onwards is all low voltage. High voltage is hiding away in those two wires here that we insulated with fiberglass silicon insulation all the way back to the main side. So that is well isolated, and we have a terminal block holding all the main stuff down there. We're pretty right. I could probably stand to put a bit more insulation on this, which we might do later, but still we're doing all right. We've done the hot wires. That's that one can come out. Gives you a bit of an idea. That one actually has a little bit more copper in it. Oh, and I dropped it because it's very stiff. So that's a different grade of cable. Anyway, they're out. Hot wires are off. We're going to inspect everything while we're here and probably undo some tangling and whatnot. Oh, that's right. There's a hot wire off that goes to the lighter socket up the back in there. So yeah, we'll clean all this off appropriately. But yeah, those were loose too. It was definitely time for service. Okay. Do these up. I've hit it with some contact cleaner as well. Try and clean some of the oxides off as we do this. And we just wind our things back in nice and gently until we feel it firm up, and then we go just a little bit more than that. Alright. We are firm. Alright. I had to switch to a short socket for this. Notice I'm just using one finger here to tighten up. I don't want to over tighten. Okay. That feels pretty good. They're all quite firmly on. They're all good, and they're facing away from each other, which is nice. We have our fuse. There's a 50 amp fuse in here. This whole thing will easily put out 100 amps, so it's quite capable of blowing that fuse. Now we want to tuck all this stuff out of the way. The last thing we want is anything touching anywhere near that terminal block down there. So we're going to zip tie everything up high and out of the way again. Right, as for the capacitor, I loosened the nut here a bit and rotated it around. It's appears to be 37,000 microfarads. There you go. Okay, we have additionally zip tied this up so it doesn't touch on the top of that, although the fuse holder might, but the wiring isn't going to rub on the edge of this. We have some zip ties here to stop it pulling through. We're going to add a bit more glue in the sides here in a minute. But we are otherwise okay. Okay, we're going to put the side back on, put a couple of screws in it. Now, for those of you worried about the mains voltage side of it, we have actually an RCD, a plug top RCD on it, on an IEC cable. But yes, a fuse is going to go into this later as well. But I'm going to get an electrician to do that because technically I'm not licensed on that side of it. So the mains voltage stuff, we will get a qualified electrician to sign off on the work. As always with these things, we'll check over. I am ANZS 3760 certified to do like the safety testing and tagging. But yes, I'll always go past my electrician mate to make sure this stuff can be signed off. And often there are a couple of changes that are made. So don't freak out. It is going through the proper safety process. And it's on obviously a load protected circuit as well as an RCD. There's actually 3 in line in there. So we should be all right. And this is not publicly accessible. This is kept out of the reach of the public. Now, I want to again thank Tom George for the graceful JCar gift card he sent that has enabled me to buy some of these bits and pieces. I am actually kind of short on money at the moment, so he unknowingly contributed to the safety of the museum I volunteer for, because this has been running lighting. We do check it regularly, but part of the regular checking is to find problems like that could have been very critical. So, thank you very much, Tom. We have a fuse in here now. It's big stuff. Now, one of these days we're going to give the case a repaint, and this is on wheels, by the way. But yes, now I can just plug things straight into it, and also it should remove, if there is a heat in the connection, it should remove it away from the front panel. We can't pull it out. I have re-glued all of this in. This 5-volt regulator is disconnected for now. Just keeps some heat away from, or some extra wiring away from things. I'll probably seek to simplify the wiring a bit further in future, and we'll get back in and add some more insulation to stuff. For now though, this works. We're happy, and thanks again, Tom. We'll see you in another one.